Hi guys, welcome to Facebook Live with Barb, barbstamps.com. Anyway, here we are live, so that means it's Thursday night, and that means that it is 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern. So, hello, hello, hello. I'm going to check and make sure I'm live. I mean, I think I am. I see some of you
and 7 Eastern
popping on. Oops. Let's turn the volume down because nobody wants to see it that more than once. Okay, I do think I'm on, except I need to just double check everything. Yep, it looks like I'm here. So hi guys, everybody say hello. Tell me what you're doing tonight. If you're just stamping, if you just got done eating dinner, if you're preparing dinner, eating dinner later, not eating dinner. Yeah, let's hear all about it. I have a little bit different angle with my camera right now because I was really trying to use my little thing that's not so great, that I really need to replace. And I just could not get it to work right. It just was not working for me. So I decided, okay, fine, I'm just going to do something else for this face-to-face kind of thing. And then we will switch the camera into a different holder when it's time to do the stamping. So it's kind of a little bit, you get a little bit different view. You get a little bit more of my wall over there instead of over there, or what's behind me, or whatever. So let's see. So you guys are letting me know if somebody's just finished dinner. Oh yeah, I know what you're saying, Jean. It's supposed to get pretty hot and dry here too, which I'm not super happy about. Speaking of that, here's a little side note. I digress. I'm getting ready to go on vacation, as you guys know, and we go to a lake in Montana. So we basically are sitting at the beach all day long. Well, this body doesn't see sun any other time of the year because I work in my basement. So I basically live down here and I don't see the sun. So I like to go to a tanning salon, and I know some of you are going to say, oh my gosh, please don't do that. I know, I get it. But I feel like it's worse for me to go to the lake and get totally sunburned and fried the first couple days than it is for me to go to a tanning bed a few times before I go, so I can kind of get a tiny bit of color so that my skin doesn't freak out when the sun's on it. So anyway, I did go tanning this morning really early, about 6:30, and then I went to Walmart. And while I was at Walmart, I kept running into these guys. There was a whole bunch of them, and I think they were like firefighters, you know, like out the woodland forest firefighters. And they had like grocery carts full of bottled water. They had some coolers. They got some ice. Well, anyways, I kept running into these guys everywhere I turned in the store. I was like almost literally running into them. And so I felt really bad about that. But you know, what can you do? When there's 50 of them and one of you, you're bound to run into them here and there. So that was that. For those of you that also don't know, in Sheridan, Wyoming at this time of year, we have the Sheridan Wyo Rodeo. It's kind of a world-renowned thing. People fly in from literally all over the world for this week of rodeo action, and it's kind of a big deal. So that's why I went so early in the morning, because this town, we have a normal population of about 16,000 people. I don't even know how many people come here for the rodeo, like 3,000-4,000 more people. And they're all like milling around and they're everywhere. And so a lot of us locals, we stay home when the rodeo is in town. Not that I don't like rodeo. It's fine. I don't mind it. I'm not a fan of like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like there's too many people for me. I can't handle it. So anyway, I stay home. So I do everything I need to do in the early morning hours when those people are sleeping. So anyways, that's what's going on here. And like I said, I'm getting ready for vacation, so I'm pretty excited about that. Always get really frazzled this time of year because when you're going to be gone for 2 weeks and you're going to be like off the grid because there's no real service up there, so I can't really work. I always get really frantic and I have a lot of anxiety about leaving because, you know, I have a fairly decent business going on here. And while I'm gone, I mean, if people are ordering classes and adhesive kits and things like that, I can't send them out. I pride myself on when you guys order kits. I mean, this is providing once it's available. Like right now I'm working on my Plentiful Plants / Bloom Where You're Planted, and my Hats Off class. So my Hats Off class will be ready to go next Monday, and then the Bloom class will be ready. Really, it's probably spam risk too. I don't know who this is. And so I'm just going to turn it off. Anyway, Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl wants to know if I'm going to be here next Thursday. I don't know. It depends. If I feel comfortable in the amount of work that I've gotten done to be gone, then yes, I will be live. But it is quite possible that I won't have all my work done, and therefore I won't be able to go live, because going live requires probably a good, I don't know, 4-ish hours of my day to prepare the projects. And so 4 hours is a lot of time to do other things like blog posts and schedule newsletters and, you know, get out any classes that I have sold during the week. So anyways, I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, so there's a lot of things that need to happen like behind the scenes that nobody really sees except me, because I'm not just getting, you know, my workload taken care of. I'm the woman, I'm the mom. And so I am the one who, you know, cleans the camper, stocks the camper, makes all the beds, buys all the food, pre-cooks a lot of the food. You know, just a lot of things behind the scenes that even my family doesn't know that I do. All they know is we get to the lake and it's a fantastic vacation because mom has literally packed everything you could possibly need for a 2-week vacation at the lake. And then camping also, because we camp and are at the lake the whole time. So anyway, none of you probably care anything about that, but I thought I would just give you a little bit of insight into my life. And so I may or may not be live. You'll have to just check my Facebook page, or just, you know, come here at 5 o'clock or whatever time it is you normally see me. And if I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, I'm not. And if I'm not, my sincere apologies, because if I'm not here, that means I won't be here for like 3 weeks, because I wouldn't be here 2 days before I leave, and then the 2 weeks that I'm gone. So it'd be like a long time. So I want to go live next week, but I just don't know if I'll be able to. So anyway, yeah. Oh, Cheryl, you're so sweet. She says that she lived closer to me so she could help me. You are so sweet. I actually had one of my team members reach out to me today and ask me if you know, she could cut some paper for me or package up some kits. And I literally have none of that even ready for someone to help me with. So I had to turn her down, which was very sad that I had to turn her down, but I'm not prepared for someone to help me. Anyway, okay. So my son did go to the rodeo last night, and it was really funny. That kid, I don't know. I don't know. Where did he come from? Did he come from me? I mean, yes, but did he? So he's sitting in his room last night, and what was yesterday? So he had gotten off of work, and I went to his room to see if he was going to be eating dinner with us. And he said, I don't know. I might be going to the Gold Buckle Club dinner. Now, the Gold Buckle Club is a club of people that kind of do a lot with the Sheridan Rodeo. And it's kind of an exclusive club. It's only 250 members. And in order to get into the club, somebody has to, like, you know, pass away or leave the club. So anyway, he was going to go with a friend of his whose family is members, because we certainly are not, to that. And he had on his work clothes, which is a ratty, stinky, nasty t-shirt, and some Wrangler jeans that are not so nice. They have a few holes in them. They're dirty because he works at a place where he gets dirty, and he works outside. So he's not super fresh smelling, we'll say. And so, Jean, you could absolutely cook and bake things for me right now. I'd be so happy to have that stuff. So anyways, he's wearing these clothes, and I said, is that what you're going to wear? He says, you know, like a teenage boy. Yeah. And I said, well, the kind of people that hang out in the Gold Buckle Club, they don't dress like that. You know, these people have, and nothing wrong with any of this, these people have, you know, some money, and they have some influence in town, and which is awesome, because then they're able to help bring these types of things, you know, to our town. So he says that he's going to wear what he has on, and I'm like, okay. So he comes home last night, and he talks to my husband. I was already asleep, and he says, yeah, I was severely underdressed, and my husband's telling me this morning, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I told him that. So he went to where he works, which is kind of a Western ranch feed, kind of all kinds of things. And he got a pair of jeans, a belt, and a nice Western shirt. So he's ready to go tonight and not look like trash. So there you go. Okay, guys, I am going to flip my camera around and show you a few things I've got going on. And thank you, Tana. She said, have a great vacation. I will. And then I'm going to move my camera. So if moving cameras makes you guys ill, please close your eyes. I will try to do it as quickly as possible. And whoops. Oh, yeah, there we go. I was like, you just saw my ceiling, and then you saw my desk, and then you saw my ceiling again. Okay. So there's my level. Here's what's going on with Stampin' Up! These days. And I saw her on here, so I have to give a shout out to one of my dear friends / customers, Teresa. Teresa is the sweetest person. She has been a customer / friend of mine for many, many years, and she always sends me birthday gifts and Christmas gifts in the form of an amazing card and a Starbucks gift card. And I just can't tell her how happy this makes me to get these Starbucks cards for her, because I don't get Starbucks all the time, because it's kind of like a treat, you know, because they can be a little bit expensive depending what you get. And so, yeah, so now on our trip, I can stop at some Starbucks and get some of my favorite thing, which I'm going to screw this up because I always have to email my daughter or text my daughter and say, what do I get? I think it's called a chai tea frappuccino. And it's an iced drink, because I don't like hot coffee. I don't even like coffee, really. But this frappuccino is not coffee, it's chai tea. So anyway, that's what I'm going to get, Teresa. So thank you so much. And look at this card. She has one of those little wobbler things on there, which is so cute. I just love these. So she is so sweet. Yes, I will enjoy my trip even more now, Teresa, that I can get some Starbucks on the way, because we do pass a number of them on our way up there. All right, guys, as you know, we have the Designer Series paper still on sale through August 2nd. Dolly, my birthday is next week. It's on Wednesday, and I'm kind of excited about this birthday. I'm going to be 55. Now, I'm not excited to be 55, but that will qualify me for the senior discount at one of our local grocery stores. So I'm kind of excited about that. So now I can go in there and actually legit get the discount, because they've been giving it to me for, I even hate to say this, like 4 years. They'll give me this discount, and I'm just like, I'm not that old yet. So now I'm kind of happy that I'm going to be 55, because now I can go in there and say yes, and I'll be taking that discount today. And so I will, you know, actually be earning it, rather than feeling like I've cheated them out of it. But it's not my fault. They just give it to me. I don't ask for it. They just give it to me. So anyway, super excited. I told my husband and my son today, because my daughter's not here, I said, you guys are in charge of doing whatever you're going to do for my birthday. I said, and as a side note, I really like birthday cakes from Albertsons. So hopefully they'll get me an Albertsons cake. Okay. The Bloom Where You're Planted online class is going to be available next week. And in case you guys weren't here a few weeks ago, here's a really cool card that I made with the stuff in this bundle. It's an easel card of sorts, and I used some of the Designer Series paper. This is a host set, this pattern piece back here, and then we used some of the dies and some of the stamps, and we've got some twine around the back, and then we have our cute little bumper to hold it up. All right. So those are going to be going out next week. You can sign up for them now if you want. All the links to all my classes and everything I'm talking about is in the description of this video. Oh, Dolly says she's almost 70. Well, good for you, Dolly. That's awesome. I never would have thought that you were 70 years old. Hello from a Montana girl visiting her daughter in California. Well, hello, Mary Ellen. That's exciting. My Hats Off class will also be out on Monday. So I'll be sending the kits out next week. So here is a fun little card that I made. I don't remember if it was last week or a couple weeks ago. I can't remember. I'm wondering if I have any other hat cards in here. Oh, I made this one last week and this one the week before. And so the class has 4 additional cards that you get the kits for to make, along with some other supplies, and then you get the directions. So yeah. Well, happy birthday to everyone who is telling me that they are having birthdays also. Congratulations. All right. Totally Techniques Online Club. I will be hopefully, oh, this is another thing I've got to do. I'm really going to try to get these things done before I leave. I already know what my technique is going to be. I just need to make the cards and make the video. So that's on my list of things to do. Ooh, Jean says a lot of restaurants will give you a discount when you're 55. Excellent. So this could be a good thing for me. I'm pretty excited. Oh, yeah. So you can get into my club. Just let me know you want to get in. Then you place a $30 or more order every month. And you just go from there. Ooh, Terry says I'm frozen. Are you guys seeing that I'm frozen? I hope not. I hope, Terry, I hate to say this, but I hope it's just you. Our July to December holiday catalog kickoff party. Uh-oh. It looks like I might be. I'm looking at the replay over on my iPad, and it is not... Oh, Flo says I'm good. Dolly says she's good. Maybe it was just for a second. Oh, now I see myself back. Okay, good. Good. Okay. The holiday kickoff party is going to be starting next month. We are getting people into the Facebook group now. There isn't a whole lot going on right now, but you can get into the group and you'll be ready to go when we actually start the post, which will start around the 3rd of August. And then the whole thing will actually really get going the week after that, because I'll be back on the 7th of August. And I think Kelly's going to also be gone that first week of August too. So we will get everything hammered out, and you guys are going to love the content of this. If you are a Stamp Happy Academy member or a member of one of our teams in levels 1 through 3, it's free. If you're not, the cost is only $10, and you can get the link in the description of the video. I still have, I think, 2 of these classes left. They all squared away. I think there's 2 left. And then I have 3 or so peach classes left. Oh, Bonnie, you are so sweet. Bonnie is saying SHA is awesome and come to join us. Yes. I have a few hand-penned classes. I have a few Flowers of Friendship classes. More information about Stamp Happy Academy. We love Stamp Happy Academy. Can't get enough. Yeah. So if you guys are looking for something to do, you should absolutely join us, because it's amazing fun and we just have a great time. We've got 3 live classes every month. We all put our online classes in there. So we've got the 3 live classes plus 4 PDF file online classes. And it's so much fun. We love it. And then our catalog kickoffs are amazing. And so, yeah, you should absolutely join us. Adhesive kits. Gosh, I've just been on a run of selling these things. I think I have like 2 left. I've got supplies coming in to make some more, so hopefully that stuff will be here before I leave. So if I get some orders, I can take care of that. As I stated earlier in the video, if you guys are ordering things from me that I have to physically mail to you after July 24th, they will not ship out until August 9th, because I will not be here to physically take care of that. Now, I do have a kid. Well, he's a guy now. He's been house sitting for us forever and ever and ever. But he doesn't do any business for me. He doesn't answer the phone. He doesn't do my emails. I wish he did. He doesn't mail out my stuff. So he just house sits for us. So unfortunately, that's it. Oh, Cindy Williams says that Stamp Happy Academy is well worth the cost and she loves it. Yes, it is, Cindy. And thank you so much for the plug. All right, guys, we have the July to December catalog coming out. In fact, I can show you the cover. In case you haven't seen it, which I'm sure you all have, but here is the cover. I can't show you anything else, but yeah. And then Celebration will also be starting August 3rd. And so I am going to be doing my product shares. I have links to all these things in the description of the video. I do an I Want It All, which is a decent, I think it's most of everything in the catalog, most of the papers, most of the embellishments, the ribbons, all that stuff, a little sampling of that. And if you do choose this option, you do get a free sampler from the Celebration catalog. There's 4 DSPs in there. And you will get a sampling of all of those. And I can just quickly kind of show you some of the papers. This is the gingerbread paper. And now these charts, you guys, I am not making the chart kits. I just don't have time. I cannot get that done. But I will be selling my files. So if you want to purchase the file to create your own, the link is in the description. It's $6. You will get 2 files. One of the files is the actual file to print your own sheets. So you'll need to put your own white cardstock in. You can print out this information here, and then you can put all your pieces of paper. My other file is pictures of all of these charts showing you how I put all mine together. So like here's the gingerbread, here's the sweet stockings, the Blackberry Beauty Specialty we have not been able to order yet, so I don't have a picture of that one yet. The Heartwarming Hugs is a repeat. It's a carryover from last year's holiday catalog. The Painted Christmas, the Whimsy and Wonder. This is so, so pretty. I just love this. The Peaceful Place. This is another really pretty paper, kind of black, gray, and silver. These are the Celebrations. And these are, you'll get samples of all of these. And here's the Harvest Meadow. This is, oh, these two are also in the holiday catalog. The Harvest Meadow and the Cute Halloween. And then here are the celebration papers, the Penguin Playmates, the Beautifully Penned, which is just some black and white, really pretty. The Peaceful Prints, that coordinates with the Deer bundle that's in the holiday catalog. Oh, and then we're back to the current annual catalog thing. So, I apologize to those of you that have purchased the kits before and you're looking for a kit. I wish I could give you one, but I can't. It's just too much work, and there's no way I can get it done. But you can get a sampling of those papers with my DSP sampler, and then you could easily make your own. So there we go. That's all the blah, 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 which was plenty. All right, let me get a bucket of stuff, and we'll get stamping. Okay. What am I going to do here? I'm going to have some papers. There is some papers. I've got some ink pads. Oh, I should tell you guys, at least this morning when I was placing an order for myself, the blending brushes were back in stock. They do say low inventory, which tells me that they came back in stock and everybody's ordered them, and yeah, craziness. So if you need some blending brushes, I highly recommend jumping in there really quickly and getting some, and hopefully they are still available. But we're going to use them just because they'll be back. And we're going to do some blending first, and then we're going to do some stamping. So, to start off, I need a scratch paper. Oh, here's one. Okay. And I need some blocks. And I have a piece of shimmery white cardstock. Hopefully you guys can see the shimmer in that. It's so pretty. And we're going to do some blending on here. So we're going to start off with our lightest color first, which is going to be the Daffodil Delight. And when I do use my blending brushes, I get a little bit of ink on my brush, and then I kind of squish it into my clear block so that I save the ink, but that I don't have a ton of ink on there at this moment, because I want to very gently and lightly add my ink, because I want to be the one who controls the ink. I don't want the ink controlling me. And if I start off with a big old, pow in your face swipe, I can't really fix that. So if you start off with a little bit of ink, then you can always add more. So now I can come over here and I can pull some of that off, and then I can continue adding ink so I can get a really nice blend on this. Okay. I'm going to try to do about a third. I'm going to go up a little bit, just a tiny bit higher, because my next color is going to be Pale Papaya, and I think that'll blend in with that really nicely. And you see, that way I save the ink also. And not that you can't, re-ink your pad, because you absolutely can. But why would you if you don't have to, I guess is my theory on that. So I'm going to bring in my Pale Papaya next. And I have a brand new, this is my very last brand new one until my next order comes in. So, and then here's a block. So we will rub our brush on there, and we'll get some of that ink off. And I'm going to kind of start where I left off, and I'm going to come across and try to blend the Pale Papaya. All right. Get some of that on there, and now we'll come back over here and we'll kind of pick up the rest. And now I'm going to kind of bring it down a little bit into the Daffodil Delight that I have, just to kind of really make those look like there's a nice transition. Okay, and I think I'm actually going to go a little bit higher with this than I was originally going to. Oop, I need another piece of paper. Hold on. Because you don't want to like touch where you've already added ink with your fingers, because your fingers, they're not that they're greasy and gross, but they're not super clean. And so they can pick up the ink and leave a little bit of a fingerprint there, which you don't want. So keep that in mind. And so that's why I do use a piece of paper. Okay, so we're done with our Pale Papaya. Well, I mean, we might not be done. We'll see. So now we're going to bring in Calypso Coral. This is going to be our darkest color. And so this is the one that I'm going to be kind of really careful with, because it is going to be dark. So you can see I'm getting a lot of that excess ink off there. And I'm going to start off my paper first and just kind of get my brush going with the blending so that I don't end up with like a big blob or something, because it is fairly dark, like I said. And the key to, I think, blending is to have patience. You can't just expect to, you know, throw some ink on there and have it look nice. You kind of need to be purposeful about it a little bit. Even though it might not look like you are purposeful about it. Is that even a word? I think it is. So I'm going to pick up the rest of my ink here. And again, I'm going to kind of start off. Whoops, pick that back up. And we're going to make it a bit darker here, which this is going to be the top when I get done. So I'm going to make it a bit darker at the top. So I'm kind of getting all of my ink off up here, and then I can move farther down where I don't have so much ink on my brush, so that I can get a nice fade, blend, whatever you want to call it, between the Pale Papaya and the Calypso Coral. Okay. So that's what we have, and you can see the shimmer from the paper kind of working its way through there, which is really nice. I see a little right here. I need to get some extra ink. Maybe I'm just gonna get a little bit more ink on there so I can make this darker, because I do want it to be kind of dark up here at the top. Okay, so then all you need to do is just, you can rinse these blocks off in the sink, and they'll be good as new. Elaine says she had to mute me because my words kept repeating. Is anybody else experiencing any of that? I hope not. That sounds like that would be annoying, Elaine. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus, because I'm going to stamp some black ink on here. Stamp with black ink, I should say. Ooh, we got some serious glare from my lights. Okay, so I am using the Dragonfly Garden stamp set, and I've got the long, tall image here. And let's see. Oh, I need a piece of the paper underneath, because I am going to be stamping a little bit off of my piece of paper, my piece of cardstock here. So I'm going to stick my piece of paper in, and I need to figure out where I want this. You wish they had lines on their blocks. Yeah, they used to sell these things, and they don't anymore. And I'm kind of sad about it, because I really, really liked them. But I mean, it is what it is. Okay, what do I want to do this? I think I want to have it be over on the edge here. So we are going to just figure out, I think I want it to be, nope, I think I'm going to start over. I'm going to go tall towards the center. Okay, that looks like that will work. So I'm going to get my magnets and have them hold my paper. And then where's my black ink? Found it. And so I've got a stamp case. Oh gosh, I apologize for the glare, you guys. But it is what it is. Okay, good. Thank you, Amy. So maybe there was just a glitch somewhere. All right, so I am going to, and the reason I wanted to use my Stamparatus was in case I don't get like perfect placement on these things, that I can stamp it again. And that looks like that's pretty good. Okay, so now I am going to move my paper over, and I'm going to move it up just a little bit, because I want this next stamp to be just a slightly lower. That should work. So I'm going to bring in my magnets again, hold my paper in place, and we'll ink up our image once again. Okay. And sometimes I stick my bone folder in there, because sometimes the stamps will stick to the paper, and I wasn't really wanting that to happen at this moment. So okay, so now I need to move this over here, and we're going to have it go even a little bit lower. So I don't know, that looks like that might work pretty good. So, oh, whoops, I can't do that, because that's where I'm going to stamp it. You can't have a magnet where you're going to stamp something. So we are going to put the magnet over there and then up here. Okay. And we'll stamp this again, or ink it up again, I should say, not stamp it yet. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I'll stick that in there again. That looked pretty good. Okay, and then the last time I'm going to do, I'm going to stamp it right over here on this edge, but I'm only going to need just a tiny bit. So, actually, maybe I'll bring it down just a little. So I'm just guessing, you guys. I really have no idea how this is going to look. It's a guess. I hope it looks good. We'll see. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay. Now we better put some more. Sometimes, you know, you think you have enough, but then you don't. Ugh. Okay. Last time. There we go. Oh, we got just a tiny bit. That's good. Okay. So let me get my magnets off of here. Slide my paper out. Close up my Stamparatus. Cover my ink so I don't make a mess. And then let me get all of these blocks with ink out of here so that I don't end up getting it all over my hands. Now I can see that I accidentally scuffed up here with my magnet, I think. So I am just going to stick this into my little trimmer here, and I'm just going to take off just the tiniest little sliver in hopes to get rid of that. Maybe just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more. There. Okay. All right, so then I have some Pale Papaya cardstock to mount this onto. So this was 3 3/4 by 5. So this is going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Oops, I think I need to switch out my seal. And yes, I believe that I do. Okay, so we will go ahead and open up a new package. Which reminds me, I need to get some more seal also. And you know what? Whenever I replace a seal, you know, you don't necessarily always replace your container, but I always rub off. There's always seems to be glue here. Get my trash can. And so I like to rub off all of the glue boogers. Look at that. That was a pretty good one. Off of my case before I put my new refill in. That's just going to kind of help, I hope, so that the glue, the adhesive doesn't stick, you know, around here. Whew, look at that. We've got adhesive everywhere. And then I'll do it on this side too. So I'm just kind of pulling it up, and you can see you just get those little glue boogers off there. So, and then I'll just kind of rub my hands together and get those into the garbage. Okay. Then we'll just assemble this, or put this back together. There we go. That's garbage. And then we'll keep our little lid. All right, so we are going to add that to this. So I'm just going to, well, we got to get it going here. A little more. There we go. So we will get these added together. Ooh, this paper is just, I can see the sparkle. I hope you guys can. Sometimes, you know, over the camera, it's not so great, but in real life, it looks really good. It's very sparkly. Okay, so I have that done. So what I also wanted to do was I wanted to take a Wink of Stella brush and kind of splatter this a little bit. So I need a scratch piece of paper, and I'm going to place that on here. I'm going to shake up my Stella and get the lid off here. All right, I don't think there's something on there. Okay, and where's my bone folder? Right here. So I am going to get some coming out. There it is. It's starting to come down the track here. And I can see that it is there. We got a little bubble there. And it's going to filter itself down to the, there we go, down to my brush. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to like just kind of tap this onto my bone folder. And I can see that there is some Wink of Stella getting splattered all over. And so that's going to do a couple different things. It's going to like maybe leave some little watermarks. Plus it's just going to give it a little bit more shimmer. And who doesn't want a little bit more shimmer, right? Okay. So we've got that. Get this out of the way. Now I probably have some Wink of Stella on my surface here, so let me just kind of rub my hands over it. Ooh, they're shiny now. We'll get rid of that. Okay. Then what I wanted to do was bring in some of this ribbon. Now this is, I've said this before, this is like Flirty Flamingo, but it goes so well with the Calypso Coral also. So I find myself using it a lot with Calypso Coral. So I'm going to tie a knot around there. And as most of you know, I am not a fan of tying knots on flat pieces of cardstock. I like to tie a knot on something else and then wrap the ends around my piece of cardstock so that they are nice and tight. I like nice, tight ribbons. And so whenever I can wrap it around, it makes me happy. Okay, try to get a decent knot there. Trim that off. All right, so the next thing I need to do is figure out what I'm going to do with for my sentiment. And I think what I'm going to do is, there's a little word in here that says you are an inspiration, which I really think is a really nice sentiment, and it could be used for literally anybody. And I have all these little, ooh, no, hold on. I just changed my mind. I'm going to use a strip of the same shimmery white. So I'm going to get a 1/2 inch strip. One thing I really love about this tiny trimmer, and I wish you guys could buy it so much if you don't already have it, because you can get 1/2 inch strips so easily. Okay, so I need my black ink back, and I need a block. And of course I've got my little grids here to help me hopefully stamp this evenly. We'll see. And I think it might not fit on here now that I'm looking at it. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's close enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to use it like that. Okay, so what I think I might do is snip a little bit off that end, and then I'm going to flag this. And of course, you could use our little banners pick-a-punch, but I'm being lazy right now and don't want to dig it out, since like I said, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do. This is another one of those cards where I didn't really know what I was going to do. Okay, so this is going to go on there, and so I'm going to have this hang off just a tiny bit off of my main layer. So I'm going to try to figure out where, so I can figure out where I want to cut it. I'm going to cut it about like this. Wait a minute. Maybe I should stick it over here and then stick my ribbon. No, I'm going to do what I was going to do originally. Okay. I do have a card that you guys can help me with, though, because I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready. My husband's on the night shift, and when he's on the night shift, he has to eat at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and that just really throws me as far as, you know, getting things prepared. I mean, who eats dinner at 3:30, for crying out loud? You know, nobody. And nobody else in my house, meaning me and my son, are ready to eat dinner at that time. So what I'm going to do, you guys, here is I figured out where I want my sentiment strip. Then I'm going to put the knot of my ribbon. I'm going to hold it into place where I want the knot to go. And then I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to trim it off so that the end can go around. Okay. And we're going to put it close to the bottom down here. I think I'm going to scoot it over just a hair. And then I'm going to wrap this to the back and use some tape, which I always do. No, my mist just tipped over. Okay. This seems like this card's been taking a really long time. Has it? I think it has. Okay, and I'm going to pull that. And then I'm just going to set this like right here. So it's kind of hanging off just a tad. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I can use some seal. That should work. That's even early for the early bird special. I know! It's crazy. And when I had both of my kids home, you know, he would eat at 3:30, and then my son would, you know, he would be home. And then my daughter would come home from swim practice at 6, but, or actually, it was actually closer to 7, I think. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it's not quite as crazy now that it's just me and my husband and my son, but it's still a little bit crazy. Okay. So we are going to stick this on here like so. And then the final thing is we have these fun Artistry Bloom sequins out of last year's catalog. And they are so pretty. And they go with so many things. And so I think we're going to just add a few just kind of randomly on here. Actually, I think I'm going to put these two together like that. And there it is. The colors, let's see, Rosemary, I've got Daffodil Delight, then Pale Papaya, up to Calypso Coral. Okay. So thanks, you guys. That's it. And I guess I could put a white layer on the inside, but I'm thinking that I'm really running late here. I don't know what the heck. I try to only keep you guys here about an hour, and it's going to be a bit longer than that. Oh, you know what else? I did want to do something else, though. I wanted to add some glimmer paper to this, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to. I want to punch out one of these tiny dragonflies. And so we have 4 papers in here. Clearly, we're not going to use purple or blue, but we could use either one of those. They're a little bit ombre-ish, not a ton, but a little bit. Or we can pull out the rainbow glimmer paper and pull out, well, this is a partial piece, and maybe get the dragonfly out of here. So I don't know. We're going to try. I'm going to try to get a dragonfly out of here. Is that what I want to do? Do I have any scraps? This is one of those papers, you guys, that I do save all my really ridiculous tiny scraps, because you just never know, you know, what you're going to need. And a lot of times my tiny scraps, oh, look at that. Here's a tiny scrap right here. And I think that might work. So we're going to get that little dragonfly out of there. And I thought we could maybe stick him on here. Now, I don't know. He kind of blends in a little bit too much, but we could stick him up here, perhaps. Right? And maybe we could add one of these sequins to his body. We will see. This is kind of an afterthought. I actually got a swap from one of my team members, and I'm going to show you her swap. It's beautiful. But I didn't have the stamp set that she had, so I had to come up with something else. I think we are going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to glue that here. And so I had to come up with something else, and so I came up with this stamp out of the Dragonfly bundle. Okay, how's that? Does that look stupid? Oh, we have to leave it there now because it took off a little bit of the paper. Okay. So that's what I wanted to do with that. And I wanted to use some of this glimmer paper because these papers are so pretty. So yeah, when you guys have these tiny little pieces of glimmer paper, don't throw them out. I just put them in a cello bag, and then I just keep them in my package so that when I need just a tiny piece like that, then it's very easy. I don't have to cut into one of the larger pieces. Okay, let me put all this stuff away or on the floor so that we can move on to our next card. All right, let me get the junk out of, oh, I got to save that. Get the bits out of here. Oh, I found my little vacuum, you guys. It's so funny. I have a Stampin' Up! Cubby right here in front of me, but it's up kind of higher. And that's where I had my little vacuum was in there. I found it about 2 days later. I was like racking my brain thinking, where in the world did I put it? And I put it right here next to my desk so that, guess what? I wouldn't lose it. And guess what happened? I lost it. Yeah. Okay. Let's move all those things. Oh, here's the card. This was a card that I got from one of my team members in a swap, and she used that really pretty big background stamp, but I don't have that, so I had to come up with something else. And so her card is beautiful, and you can see she did some water splatters on there that are so pretty, and so I kind of tried to copy her card, and this is what I came up with. So, all right. Let's move on to card number 2. Hopefully this will be a little faster. No, not that one. This one. Okay. So we are going to use the Plentiful Plants bundle. Here's our Plentiful Plants, our macrame 3D folder. And then I have some things already die cut and stamped or whatever that I'll show you here in a minute. Plus, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek This is a stamp set that will be available to, I guess you would say hosts, but it's not necessarily exclusive to hosts, because if you're a customer and you want to place a $300 order during celebration, this is what you will get for free. It's called In Your Words, and I'm just going to make sure that it's $300 that you have to spend. Yes. So you can either have a party for $300, you know, gather orders from your friends, or you can place your own order, and then you will get this. It's a really nice sentiment set, and so we're going to use these sentiments on this card today. So there's a little sneak peek for you guys. All right. So the first thing I have is a piece of soft succulent cardstock. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I slid it into my Stampin' Trimmer, and I scored it at 2 3/4 of an inch. All right, so then I folded that. So then I just brought this piece up and butted it up against that and then folded it down. So I didn't score it, because I sometimes find that if you try to score in 2 different spots to make the ends come together, it never comes together the right way. So if you score one end and fold it and then just bring the other end in, butt the 2 together, and then, you know, press and hold and make that nice score line, then they'll fit together a lot better. That's what I have found. Okay, so then I also had a, what was this? This was a 4" by 5 1/8 inch piece of soft succulent. And I ran that through with my macrame folder. Is that the right? I was trying to cut it so that it kept the pattern going, but that's not right either. Where is the proper, is it right here? No. Gosh, you wouldn't think this would be so hard. Oh, that is right. Okay, right here. Okay, so it was 4 by 5 3/8, and then I put it into my trimmer and I cut it off at 1 3/8. So we have a 1 3/8 piece and a 2 3/8. No, 2 5/8 inch piece. So we're going to put these onto these flaps here, and I'm going to use liquid glue for this, because whenever I have something that's been embossed, I find that liquid glue holds it a little bit better than like seal or glue dots or that kind of stuff. So we're going to go with this, and I'm going to get it. It's going to be right to the edge. There's like a 1/16 of an inch-ish amount that is going to show. But we have, you know, the whole, it's the same color, so if you're off just a tiny bit, it isn't going to make any difference. Okay, so now we will add some glue here on this little piece here. This happens to be, you guys, a layout that I demonstrated for one of my lives on Stamp Happy Academy a few months ago. So part of when we do our live events on Stamp Happy Academy, we like to take a layout and we like to show you numerous ways, you know, numerous ideas with that layout. So if you are a member of Stamp Happy Academy and you do remember my live, you will remember this fold. So you can do it either vertical or horizontal. Oh my gosh, Barbara, you're hilarious. No. Barbara wanted to know if Mandy's already on vacation. No, Mandy was on a break, Barbara, but thank you for reminding me to get her off of her break, because she's been slacking. She's been on a break for almost an hour now, and that's much too long of a break. We've got a lot of things to do down here. So Mandy is here. I need to redo her nails, but I've got no time for that. She's still married, and yay. So Barbara, thanks for mentioning Mandy so we could get her off of her break, and now she can go do some work for me. Okay, so I'm going to do it the horizontal way. And I've also got a piece of cardstock to go on the inside, but we're going to stamp that in a minute. So what I also have here is a label. I have 2 labels, actually, from the Hippo and Friends stamp set. And it's these 2 larger ones in this grouping right here. So I did the largest one with Evening Evergreen, and then the next, actually the middle-sized one with white. And I've told this story numerous times. I'll tell you guys too. This is actually, it has the coordinating stamp set. Obviously, it's got a cute little butterfly, hippo, unicorn, and a sheep. But I didn't get this for that. I got the stamp set just because it came in a bundle, and you know, you save 10%, so why not? But I've literally hardly ever used the stamp set, but I use these dies all the time. So, not the animal characters, but just like the labels, and that's really why I bought it. So, I could have done without the stamp set, but It came as a bundle, so I was a sucker and I bought it. Anyway, okay, so we've got our labels. So this one we're going to do a little stamping on first. And as I told you, we're going to use that stamp set. And so my sentiment says, hope, what does it say? I can't read upside down. Hope this card makes you smile. So that's what this sentiment says. So we are going to stamp that right here. Hopefully it'll be straight. We shall see. I think that's pretty good. And this was soft succulent ink that I used. Then I am going to use the Plentiful Plants. And I have this cute little pot here. It's this one right here with the two little handles. And I'm going to stamp that on a scrap. I have to get one. Of soft succulent. But I'm going to stamp it in Evening Evergreen ink. Yes, Jean, Mandy is super handy. Yeah, when she's not on break, you know. Okay, so we've got that Evening Evergreen onto soft succulent, which I really like that combination of the lighter paper with the darker ink. I really like how that looks. So then by the magic of TV, you would die cut that with your coordinating die. And then I also took some cinnamon cider cardstock and got a couple of these little cactus pieces. And so we're going to add these to the card here. So what I thought I could do with these is I thought I could snip one of these in half. Kind of right up the middle. And then I'll kind of fix the, you know how it's got kind of a harsh thing there. We're going to kind of, what is the problem? I can't get my scissor to trim that off. There we go. And then this guy will trim that little piece off also. Okay, so what I kind of thought we could do is add a little glue back here. And then add our little cactus pieces. Oh, whoops, I think that one needs to go over here. There we go. And then this little piece can go down here. That almost looks like reindeer. Ooh, you guys, I may have just come up with something. That looks like deer antlers, doesn't it? Kind of. Interesting. All right, so now we're going to add a little bit more glue down here. And we're going to get this other little cactus. And we're going to stick it right in the center. So that we just have like a lot of cactus coming out of this thing is what I was kind of going for. I got some glue on my hand, so I'm going to rub it off. Oh no, I think I can use regular dimensional. Oh, I guess I have some strips here. Yes, that's kind of perfect. Okay, so we are going to, oops, this is a tiny bit too long, so hold on here. Oh, I'll just stick that little piece I cut off right there. Okay. Not a problem. Oops. All right, so I'm going to set this little pot right here next to our sentiment. And then I'm going to glue it to this. Whoops, I want to glue it to the front. This is the front. Okay. To do my die cutting. Oh, Pam, I know what you're saying. Pam wants to have the magic of TV to have her die cutting already done also. It is kind of handy when you're doing these types of, you're doing these live events. Oh my, that did not get straight at all. What in the world? Okay. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to stick it on here, but I felt like it needed something, like my cactus pieces. I don't know what, but all of a sudden I thought, what if we use these tiny little flowers and added some crazy color? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm going to add some little dots of glue here. And I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and I'm going to pick these polished pink. Oh my gosh. Right into the glue upside down. How would that, of course that would happen because we're talking that it's Barb here. Ugh. I think I need to get some different putty. Maybe my putty is gotten a little bit old, so we're going to crank this thing and get a little more putty to squish out of there. Okay. There. All right. And we're going to add these little pink flowers. And I hope they don't look stupid. I mean, I guess if they do, they do. But hopefully they don't. I feel like that is too big of a blob of glue, so I'm going to touch my finger to that a couple of times and get some of that glue off. Okay. So, little flower, come here. I'm scared now that I'm going to drop it and it's going to go face down into the glue. That's how I roll. Okay. And I didn't hate it. Is your label on the bottom black? No, Cheryl, it is Evening Evergreen. That super dark green. So now I'm going to add some adhesive, like underneath. I'm going to put it at the top here where my label will go. And I'm just going to use my liquid glue here. And only in that area. And then I'm going to stick this label on here. Sometimes, you know, things don't come out quite as in your brain as you think they will. So this isn't exactly, it's going to be fine. Okay. I am now going to, while those flowers dry on there, I'm going to do a tiny bit of stamping on this white layer here. And I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen and this big leafy image here. So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm just going to kind of stamp it on the bottom here. And I love how this stamp, well, a lot of the stamps in this set, they have that kind of, I don't know if it's a mod, if it's modeled is the right word. I don't know. But I really like how everything stamps. It just, it looks really cool. Oh no. Let's hope we don't, yeah, got that. Okay. Then I also need my other sentiment, which says happy birthday from that same set that you can earn for free. And I'm going to kind of stamp that over here. So I don't have to make it perfectly in the center. I'm not going to. I'm going to stamp it up here. Oh, and of course it's crooked. We're going to pretend that it's not. Just pretend it's not. Everyone close your eyes and tell yourself it's not crooked. It's not crooked. It's not crooked. Oh, I need to. Ugh. Have I ever showed you guys my trick for when you have ink pads that don't want to open and close easily? I will show you. Because this is a fairly new pad for me. And so it's not wanting to open and close very easily. So I'm going to take some wax paper. And I know some people use birthday candles, but I don't want birthday candle wax on my ink. So if you use a birthday candle, I feel like you're going to get bits of wax falling off. So I'm going to rub this wax paper onto my track. And I'm also going to run it on this edge here. Now be careful, I did get some ink on that, so I'm going to fold it over. And I'm going to add some right here too. Some wax paper. And then I'm going to flip it over and kind of press down so it's not moving around too much for me. And I'm going to add some wax paper there. And I'm going to come back in here and really get it good. And that should be enough to, ooh, look at that, how much easier that slides. Okay, there's a little tip for you. And then you can keep this and use it again, but I got ink on it, so I'm just going to go ahead and toss it so that I don't end up getting ink on my fingers, because we all know that I will get ink on my fingers if there's a possibility to get ink on my fingers. Okay, I probably ought to do that one too, because that one seems a bit stiff as well. Okay, so now we're going to add this to the inside of the card. Whoops, I didn't tear that off quite right. And now I'm thinking, yes, okay, so I am going to try to center this, but if you don't get it perfectly centered, it's fine. There. Okay, what do you guys think of that? I think it's actually kind of cute. It's not exactly what I thought when I was in my brain when I was coming up with this. But I think it's kind of cute. I think those flowers, while they might not be the perfect color for the card, I think they work okay. So Anyway, there's another one. And remember, this is a class that I have an online class, or this is a bundle that I have an online class for. It will be coming out the end of next week. And if you're a Stamp Happy Academy member, obviously you get it for free. It'll be listed with our class PDFs next week. And yeah, so this card won't be, it's not part of the class because we don't show the cards that are in the class. But you already have another idea of what to do with these stamps because I just showed it to you. And you even have a video showing you how to do it. All right, so let me, oh, you know what? I did bring out these gems. I'm going to look at them for a second and decide if I actually want to stick them on there or not. I don't know. While I'm cleaning up my mess here, I will ponder that and see what I think. Okay. Oh, hi, Mandy. Can you hold that for me for a moment? Okay, last card. Now, this is one that I was working on, and I don't know if I like it. I don't think I'm going to put any gems on there, you guys. I think I'm going to leave it just as it is. I think those little flowers are enough. Okay, so our last card is going to be using the Encircled in Friendship bundle. So I'm going to be using the 2 flowers, this sentiment here and this sentiment here. And then I've got one of the dies here, this guy, and a number 4 layering circle. Oh, I wonder if I left the number 4 over at my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Is this 4? Yes, number 4. So I have numbered all of my circle dies, starting with number 1 is the tiniest one, up to the big ones. Oh, Dolly, you're so sweet. Dolly says you guys should all give me thumbs up. It actually does help me out, so if you would, that'd be awesome. Thanks. Okay. Oh, and you should subscribe to my channel down here if you're watching on YouTube. Just saying. All right, so what I have done already is this. So I have a piece of Calypso Coral. Boy, I must be loving Calypso Coral tonight. This is a 4 1/4 by 11. And then I took this die right here, and I placed it on the front. How did I do it? Is that the right one? Yes. Oh, I must have to do it from the back side. Anywho, you guys get the gist of what I'm talking about, right? Then maybe that isn't the die. Oh, it's not. This was the die. I'm like, why isn't that fitting in there? It's because it's the wrong die, ding dong. Okay, so here we go. So that's what I ran that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I got this fun little piece here. It's got some nice little stitching around the center, and then this great detail on the outer edges. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a tiny bit of stamping. I need a piece of white. Where are you, white? Well, here's a label. I know I hate to do this, but I don't have any other scraps of white. So we're going to go with label. And so I've got that larger flower here, or flower grouping, I guess it is. And I think, now I'm not a botanist, I'm not a gardener, I've got a brown thumb, but are these iris? Is that what this is, you guys? This looks like an iris to me. So I think this is an iris. I think these are iris. My mom actually had some iris, so that's why I think I know that that's what that is, but I could be wrong. So okay, we're gonna let that dry for a second before we color it. Then I also have a piece of white that measures, when it's folded and closed, 5 1/4 by 4. So what I basically did was I cut a half of a piece of white cardstock, I folded it in half, and then I cut it to 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to set that right on the inside here. So let me grab my seal and get it on there. And you guys are saying yes, so thank you for that. And I'm going to put it so that it is in like this. So let me make sure I'm going to get it centered here. Oh no, we touched it down. Stop, 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 stop. I'm not ready. Okay. Whew. Okay, so we're going to do that. There we go. So basically what we've got is this kind of a different kind of a fold. So this would open up, and then the inside would open up like this. I know it's backwards, but I thought that was kind of fun. So on the front here, I am going to use this fun little flower, and we're going to use the Calypso Coral ink. And I'm just going to stamp one right here in the corner. Just right here in Calypso Coral. I'm going to clean that off because I'm going to stamp it on the inside with a sentiment also. Okay. And I did tell you I'm going to have this small sentiment that says, "You're the best." Make sure when I open this up, I don't get it into any ink. Okay, and I'm going to have this be in Just Jade, because I'm going to use some Just Jade also. So we're going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it not quite in the center. There we go. Because I want to bring in this small little flower, and I want to kind of wrap it around the sentiment, sort of. And then you would have a lot of room to write a message. So this would be a card that you could send to somebody if you had a lot to say. Okay, so now we're going to let that stuff dry for a second. And while it's drying, I will color my iris. And I realize, oh, this happens to me all the time. I'm just sloppy. Like I was going to say, I realize iris aren't Calypso Coral colored. But, you know, I don't care. It's my card and I can make it any color I want, right? Okay, let me get all this stuff off my hands, move that out of the way, and bring this back in. Okay, I need my blends. So I am going to start out, I'm not going to color this whole thing because I already have one done, but I'll show you my thought process here. I did want to put some of the dark Calypso Coral in the centers of these flowers. And I don't know, I think that's one of the petals, not a leaf, I think. I think these are all petals and not leaves until we get down to the base, but I could be wrong. Again, I don't know anything about gardening or flowers or any of that. My mom was very good at that, and my brother did also get some knowledge from her. My grandfather was also very big into flowers and gardening. He had beautiful, beautiful roses. And so my mom did have a number of roses also. Growing up, we had a lot of roses around. But I did not get that knack. I kind of wish that I would have, but I don't know. I guess it's not too late. I'm not that old. I'm only going to be 55, right? So there's still time. I could become a gardener. All right, so I did the dark in the center so that as I am bringing this out, my light will help kind of diffuse that darkness. And then we'll get that up to the top. Okay, and like I said, I'm not going to do all of these because I've already got it done. But that would be the gist of what I would do with the flowers. Again, I realize an iris probably is not this color, but I don't care. And then I wanted to use Just Jade on my leaves. So I will color that, and I'm using the light first. I do plan to come back in and add some of the detail on the leaves, the veins, with my dark. So I would do the light, and then I would come back and do like the vein with the dark. Okay. So anyways, then I would take it to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and I would cut it out. And guess what, you guys? By the magic of TV, it's already done. Except I forgot to put my vein lines in with my dark here. So I will quickly do that on the leaves here. There. Okay. So we're going to throw that out of the way. So now this is going to be adhered to that. So I'm just going to use some seal. And we'll get this in the center of this circle as best we can. Nope, I think this needs to come over just a little bit. Okay. It was close. I could have gotten it a little bit better, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to figure out how Oh, you know what? I may have to pull this off. What a ding dong. Hold on. See, I do these kind of things so you guys don't have to screw it up. I need to pull this off. Oh, and I just ripped it. Barb, come on. I may have to run over to my... Well, no, I might be able to save it. Okay. I think I can save this by gluing it down. Okay, so what I really should have done first is I need to set this in here. So I need to figure out where it goes, number one, and then add some adhesive, and then set it in there. Whoa. Okay, so I think we can do it about like that. So we're just going to figure out where that goes, and then we're going to set it in there. Okay, now we can put this back on. Hee hee, because otherwise it probably would have been upside down. What in the world was I thinking? All right, so we'll try to center this again. There. Okay, so this is what we have. So we have this cool look on the front, and then we're going to open it up, and we're going to have this fun thing, and then we're going to open it up again, and we're going to have this. So now I can color this, my same, probably not color of irises, but like I said, I don't care. And I do have some embellishments for the front. I just haven't decided which ones I want to use yet. So I'm just trying to pull that dark up from the base up into the main part of the flower. There we go. And then we'll get our, whoops, just jade here, and we'll get the leaves. I think I hear my son's truck. It's kind of loud. He must be heading out to the rodeo again. Ooh, wait a second. I think that's actually part of the flower, not part of a leaf. So let's get that. Okay. So then we have the inside finished. So now I have to decide what I want to put on for gems. So I have these opal rounds that are just kind of clear with a little bit of sparkly color. The bundle, Kathleen, is called Encircled in Friendship. It has a lot of these fun detailed circle dies. And then these are the stamps that come in the stamp set. So Encircled in Friendship. So I've got the opal rounds. I've got the champagne rhinestones, which I'm kind of leaning towards because they're just kind of small and dainty, and I think they might look pretty on there. And then I have these, which now that I'm looking, those are going to be way, that's too much, that's overkill. We're going to go with these. Okay, so where do I want to put these? I think, can you do that? I mean, I realize an iris probably doesn't have a thing in the center, but again, I don't care. And then I think I might add a couple up there. And then maybe another one here. We're going to go 5 because I think the rule is you need to do odds. I think is what artists say. I'm definitely not an artist, but I can take advice from artists. Okay, so I think that is it. So I think that's actually quite pretty, and it turned out okay, even though I screwed it up. And then you have a lot of places to write stuff, or you could put more stamping in there if you wanted to. You know, it's totally up to you. I feel like I need to burnish that down there. Okay, so that's it for tonight, you guys. Let me bring my cards back in. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it so much. And if you weren't here in the beginning, it's possible that I may not be here next week. I've got a ton of stuff to do to get ready to go on my vacation, which of course includes Stampin' Up! Work, because I'm going to be kind of off the grid for 2 weeks. So I need to get a lot of that done before I go. Plus I have, to get ready to go on vacation. So I have to do all the laundry. I have to do all the shopping. I have to pre-cook some food. I have to clean my camper. I have to make all the beds. There's just so many things I have to do. That I need to make a new list, I think, honestly, because my list is not complete. Anyways, so here's my cards. Thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate it very much. And hopefully I'll see you next week, but I might not. So if that's the case, toodaloo, and I will see you again in a few weeks then. Okay, guys, bye-bye.